An alarm sounds. Firemen drop quickly down a pole. Trained horses plunge to their positions under suspended harness. Expert hands fasten snaps on hames, chains, and lines, and they're off. The fastest time ever made hitching up horses was by the old-time firemen. Long practice made men and horses so expert that they required only a few seconds to get underway after an alarm. Everybody appreciates ingenious devices that are really useful, and everybody likes to watch speed and action. That's the reason for this and other similar crowds at the Indiana State Fair. They saw a farm boy attach a two-row cultivator to the tractor and then take it off, all in 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Part of the secret of the remarkable speed which can be made in attaching and detaching machines to the Farmall 12 is the use of sets of parallel plates bolted to flanges which are part of the rear axle housings. Between these plates, large eye bolts are pivoted. The nuts on these eye bolts are not removed, but merely loosened. The bolts fit in slots and large keyholes in the drawbar, and also in the principal frame members of the attached machines. Watch how the drawbar goes on. It is simply set so that the two pairs of curved fingers rest on the pairs of parallel plates. The upper eye bolts are turned down into the slots, then the lower ones swing through the large keyholes. Tightening the four nuts fastens it solidly. Exactly the same principle is used in attaching the mower, corn planter, cultivator, and many other implements, except that they do not have to be lifted, but are fitted with folding supports which hold them in just the right position for attaching when the tractor is backed up to them. Attaching the mower is almost as simple as putting on the drawbar. A supporting leg holds the mower frame, which consists of a standard drawbar, like the one standing alongside the tractor, in just the right position to attach the eye bolts. The tractor is backed into position, the upper eye bolts are thrown into their slots, the lower eye bolts are then pulled through the large keyholes, and the four nuts are tightened. Tightening these nuts takes very little more time than is required in hitching four traces to a double tree. After the four nuts are tightened with the special wrench which is part of the equipment of every Farmall 12, the lifting lever is unpinned, the supporting leg is raised and fastened in place, the power takeoff connection is slipped on, the chain connecting the hand and foot lift levers is snapped into place, and the mower is ready to whack down 3 acres of hay an hour. Connecting the power takeoff requires no wrenches or other tools. The connecting member is pulled back against the large coil spring until it can be slipped over the end of the power takeoff shaft. The spring pushes it on the spline and holds it there. Disconnecting is just as simple. The member is simply pulled off the shaft and pushed to one side. You couldn't do it any quicker with a zipper. Hitching to the direct connected corn planter is just as simple as attaching the mower. Whenever the planter is disconnected, it is held by folding, supporting legs in just the right position for attaching. The tractor is backed up to it and the eye bolts swung into place and tightened. The planter hitch consists partly of a standard drawbar, and this takes no longer to attach than does the regular drawbar already shown. The mechanism of the planter is not driven by the power takeoff, but by a sprocket wheel on the axle of the tractor. The entire connection can be made in about the time it would require to hitch a team of horses to the planter after they have been harnessed. Unhitching the planter is just as simple as hitching to it. The supporting legs are dropped, the drive chain disconnected, and four nuts loosened. And the planter is left ready to be attached the next time it's needed. The rear cultivator gangs attach in exactly the same manner as the planter. Supporting legs hold the gangs in just the position they were left when last detached. There's no lifting involved whatever. That's why small boys 12 to 14 years of age were able to put on and take off the cultivator in record time in the various state fair contests. The tractor is backed up to the rear section of the cultivator, and the four eye bolts are swung into the slots and through the keyholes. The nuts are tightened with the special speed wrench, which is long enough to give plenty of clearance for quick use and sufficient leverage to turn the nuts down tight without great effort on the part of the operator. When this has been done, the gangs are raised with the lifting levers. This takes the weight off the supporting legs, which are then raised and hooked over the gang frame. Anyone can do this work in about 1 minute without hurrying. With the rear gangs attached, the tractor is driven into position for attaching the front gangs. These, too, are held by supporting legs at just the right height for hitching off. The supporting legs are bent in the shape of large hooks at their lower ends. This serves to keep them from sinking into the ground, and it also furnishes means for hooking them up out of the way when the machine is in use. The principal frame member to which these gangs are attached fastens securely to plates on the front of the tractor frame by means of two large bolts. The connection to the quick-shifting mechanism is made by only one small bolt. The special speed wrench used for the eye bolts at the rear also fits the nuts on these three bolts. When these three bolts have been inserted and The nuts tightened, the lifting rods are connected to the hand levers by pushing them through holes and inserting cotter cages. The supporting legs are lifted and hooked over the gang frame, and the cultivator is then ready for work. The tractor and attached machines go together just like your foot slips into an old shoe. Many of these quickest attachable machines can be operated with a power lift, such as you see here operating a cultivator. Note that it not only raises and lowers the gangs, but also puts pressure on them to force them into the ground. Any Farmall 12 tractor, old or new, can be equipped with this power lift at slight extra cost. A touch of the fingers to the control lever sets the lift in action, either for raising or lowering, leaving both hands free for making turns. The use of the power lift does not appreciably affect the time required to attach or detach the machines, as the lift is not removed. Not counting the special two-row lister cultivator and the weeder mulcher, there are 27 quickest attachable machines for the Farmall 12. Single bottom plow, two-way plow, two-furrow disc plow, one-row middle buster, one or two-row toolbar type middle buster, two-row bedder and cultivator, two-row toolbar type cotton planter, two-row corn drill, two-row check row corn planter, two-row sweep type cotton planter, two-row runner type cotton planter, two-row corn lister, two-row cotton lister, two-row loose ground lister, two-row black land cotton lister, two-row pivot gang cultivator, two-row surface cultivator, two-row rigid frame cultivator, two-row cultivator planter fertilizer combination, two-row cultivator for using truck garden planters and cultivators, two-row potato cultivator, two-row disc cultivator, beet and bean cultivator, one-row beet puller, mower, sweep rake, duster, the most complete line available for any tractor. Remember, they're quickest on and they're quickest off.